Hi, this is Rachel Stewart, and you're with Riding Shotgun. Welcome back. If you're going to be enrolled at the highest ranked college in America, things just got a bit harder for you. Why? Well, this week hundreds of faculty voted to curb what's described as grade inflation, or the gradual trend of awarding higher academic grades for the same quality of work over time. It's a situation that's been steadily eroding real academic achievement, whereby the number of A's given out has basically made the grade meaningless. It's the DEI of academia. It's been getting worse for a couple of decades, but high overall grades grew out of sight during and since the COVID lockdowns.
No more A's for effort at Harvard University. For years, the prestigious university has had a reputation as a school that is hard to get into and where it's easy to keep a high GPA. As Samantha Cheney shows us, a new faculty-approved cap on A grades will change that.
Well, we're told this was a decision that Harvard faculty voted on earlier this month, and it passed as an effort to curb grade inflation. But tonight I spoke with some students about this announcement, and many of them weren't too happy about it.
I think it's just really harmful for a classroom environment.
Students in Cambridge speaking out tonight, disagreeing with Harvard's decision to soon make getting an A at the Ivy League school even tougher for undergraduate students.
It's just seems like more of a competition, and it's already a competition to be there.
Starting in the fall of 2027, officials say instructors will only be allowed to give A grades to at most 20% of those enrolled in a class, plus 4 extra students.
But I don't think that making a smaller group of people get the A is going to make it less competitive.
According to Harvard faculty, grade inflation has become a major issue. A statement from the subcommittee who proposed the policy said, quote, "An A will once again be what Harvard's guidelines have long said it is, a mark of extraordinary distinction." The policy raises further questions for Harvard Business School student Rachel Karp, who worries it may leave some students applying for graduate programs at a disadvantage.
I wonder if the med schools and the law schools and other sort of rigorous grad school programs would also understand and potentially have a lower GPA expectation.
Harvard says there will be no limit on other grades, and the hope is that it will allow students to feel less anxious and take more risks.
But I don't think the problem is that we need less A's. I think the problem is that students need to feel like they can get validation and feel good about themselves through other things as well.
Now, over the next year, Harvard officials say they will be working on a plan to implement this policy. And we're told after 3 years, they'll do another review of it. Reporting from Harvard Square, I'm Samantha Cheney, WBZ News.
Poor babies. I'm genuinely worried for those kids, though. I mean, when you're made to work harder and actually compete for the highest marks, how much time will you have left over to actually do other leisure activities? Like chasing Jews off campus or attending trans rights rallies and waving Palestinian flags around willy-nilly, changing the world and that sort of thing. I mean, it takes time. Back here during the pandemic, nearly half of all grades at the University of Auckland were A's. A study completed last year titled Amazing Grades, good title, Grade Inflation at New Zealand Universities by Dr. James Kierstead with Dr. Michael Johnston, found the proportion of A grades has increased from 22% to 35% since 2006, a rise that is very unlikely to have been caused by improvements in student performance. An A grade today doesn't mean what it used to, said Dr. Kierstead. It used to signal exceptional work. Now that meaning has been diluted. One of the key findings in the report was finally someone saying out loud something we've all known, I think, if we're honest, for a long time, that the grade inflation at our universities, or any universities in the world, is mainly the result of incentives constructed by the current university system, and notably its emphasis on student numbers, which academics often attempt to boost by giving out higher grades. This from the report. Administrations have made it clear that students equal funding, a University of Auckland lecturer reported, no doubt anonymously. If your program is perceived as too tough, your program may lose students to other programs. A Victoria University tutor described being told to pass all students who handed in their assessments. An AUT tutor received marking guidelines instructing full marks to any proper attempt to answer a number of questions regardless of whether or not the answers were correct. Many academics understand what's happening but operate within a system that would penalise them for taking a rigorous approach to grading, Dr. Kierstead said. We need a national conversation about grade inflation and how to reduce it. Until we change the underlying incentives, academics and universities will continue to hand out higher grades. At the moment, they don't have much choice. So in other words, grade inflation clearly arises from a culture that treats students as mere clients or customers, rewards lecturers for popularity rather than objectivity, and is fearful of any policy that might increase stress on students. No wonder universities are universally failing. But here's the real rub. Coming out of university with a misguided sense of thinking you know anything real is now further compounded by grade inflation. And employers can no longer trust who actually did the hard work or who didn't. And that's a problem. How to distinguish between a graduate who takes risks and has initiative or one who's just your average conformist? Anyway, it probably won't matter soon because AI. But before I go, have you noticed how common it is to encounter youngish bureaucrats who seem to have all the ideas up here, but none of the practical skills to know the first thing about implementing them? Just look at your local councils. That's a great place to get a feel for how useless academic degrees can really be. We are no longer producing great minds. We appear to be pumping out ever smaller ones, and this is what we're increasingly up against, and it's leading us nowhere good. Anyway, I'll leave you with this. Enjoy. Ole!
Espera un momento.
Quería darme de alta en autónomos.
Ventanilla de información, modelo TA1. Lo cumplimenta en esa mesa y después...
He traído relleno.
No ha rellenado esa casilla. Vaya a las mesas de la entrada y...
He traído 2 copias, escritas y revisadas.
Le falta el impreso de Hacienda. Y la fotocopia. Muy bien, Rubita. Tú lo has querido. Fotocopia del DNI. Número de cuenta. Fotocopia de la tarjeta de la Seguridad Social. Fotocopia de los impresos de Hacienda. Doble fotocopia del modelo 036, numerado y grapado.